We had our first Cash Cup of Chapter 5 Season 4, and also the last Cash Cup before Globals, so it was our first and last chance to see how Globals teams are looking before the FNCS Global Championship next weekend. And in this video, I'm going to recap the Duo Cash Cup, as well as give an update on the duo situations for LAN, before I give you guys my Global Championship predictions in a video next week. And starting this video off with the EU Duos Cash Cup, we saw the reigning FNCS champions Vico and Flixie win yet another Cash Cup on EU. And if you guys didn't know, Vico and Flixie are very good at Fortnite and are without a doubt one of the favorites for the FNCS Global Championship. And I think with them getting Uncon Reckless Railways, I just don't see how they're not going to be one of the contenders for LAN. And they're 100% going to do very well. I have them in my top 5 for LAN as of now. And this is definitely one of the favorites to win for sure. And Vico and Flixie proving yet again that they are the best team on EU, and they're also going to be the best team from EU heading into the LAN. Then in second place on EU, we had Andalex and Saito, and this was a duo that was very quiet last season on EU, not even making heats after qualifying to Globals in Major 1. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a much needed placement for them, as I don't think this team had insane vibes heading into the season, but this is definitely a confidence and a vibe boost heading into the LAN, and one that was much needed as well. Then in third place, we have Seti and Cammy, my personal favorites to win the FNCS Global Championship. They got 2 wins, but sadly also had 2 pretty early deaths in the EU finals. And I think this is just a perfect season for Cammy and Seti. We know they're not the most aggressive team and not the most fraggy team out there, but this team knows how to play their mats. They know how to play the game with their brain. And in a no movement meta like this is a meta that's basically made for Cammy and Seti, and everybody knows it. And regardless, a top 3 in this Cash Cup's pretty good. Then in fourth place, we had another EU LAN team, Vidil and Rezon, with a solid performance of their own. And this is a duo that basically didn't even play the first game due to Vidil dying under the map due to a bug. So basically they only played 5 games and still almost came top 3. They were only 6 points away from top 3. So this is definitely a team that could have came third, or maybe even second, or maybe even depending on how they would have done in that first game if Vidil didn't get teleported under the map. They maybe could have even won this Cash Cup. So I think Vidil and Rezon are looking good. And we know they do have the Uncon Siphon Coin and the Uncon Mythic Monarch Pistol at LAN as of now. So I think this is definitely an underdog contender to do well at LAN. Then also on EU, we kind of have a bit of a throwback this season. We have Mongrel back 50-50ing a Marvel chest in a Marvel season, as him and Mr. Savage are landing at the Raft this season, the best POI on the map. Once again, Mongrel's landing the best POI again, just like Chapter 2 Season 4, the first Marvel season. And Mongrel and Mr. Savage ended up getting 12th in this Cash Cup with 2 off-spawn deaths. And even outside of the off-spawn deaths, they didn't play too well in-game as a duo. So I think there's lots of room for improvement for Mongrel and Mr. Savage. And it gets me really excited for the rest of the season with this duo. I really wish they would have made the LAN though, because this is definitely a team that has been playing super well ever since last season on NA. And this season on EU, I expect them to do very well as well. So they finished 12th place, a really solid performance for Mongrel and Mr. Savage to start the season. Then we also had a couple underperforming teams that will be playing on the LAN on EU. Yanis and Pixie got 39th, but they were conned, and they aren't expected to be conned at the LAN, so I don't think this means too much. But seeing them die off spawn 3 times isn't really great, considering the fact that maybe a team might see this and want to con them at LAN now. So a rough day for Yanis and Pixie. Then we also had a super rough day for Chap and Teeny, the team that has gone second place in back-to-back FNCS Grand Finals on EU. They struggled off spawn versus Wox and Ping and ended up getting 46th place. A pretty uncharacteristic tourney for these 2 players. As y'all probably know, they did move to the underworld, and now they're kind of fighting Wox and Ping. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. I'm not sure if they're gonna be fighting Wox and Ping at LAN, but in this Cash Cup they did, and Wox and Ping ended up making them get 46th. So a very rough performance for Chap and Teeny heading into the LAN. Then moving on to NA, we had the World Cup champion himself, Booga, win the Cash Cup with his duo Aviv. Booga and Aviv looked very good in this tournament. They had an average placement of 6.83 and had a 5th place, 2 wins, a 3rd place, and a 10th place to highlight their win in the tournament. And also in the last game had a little bit of fun as Peterbot and Poyo were chasing them down, trying to kill them and win the tournament. But sadly, they didn't find them, and Bugha and Aviv escaped and ended up winning the tournament. So overall, it was a super fun Cash Cup watching Bugha play really well. And a lot of people were questioning Bugha and Aviv not really playing scrims, but they're showing everyone they don't really need scrims. They're good enough and they're going to be fine without them. And I think if Bugha and Aviv remain uncon at LAN, I have high hopes for them to do very well, and for Bugha to have his first good placement on LAN since the World Cup win. Then in second and third place, we had two teams that had a lot of eyes on them during this tournament. Peterbot and Poyo in second place, and Clix and Vino in third place. Now, a lot of people were expecting a forecast fight, but we didn't really see a forecast fight at all the entire tournament. Peterbot and Poyo ended up getting the forecast tower 4 times at this drop spot, pretty much uncontested. Clix and Vino ended up getting the forecast tower once, and they ended up getting that forecast tower because of this. They had to have just both, he had to have doubled. Oh my god, he's aimbotting. I don't know what happens to Vino sometimes, but this is like the 3rd time in the past week or two that he's done this to somebody at this exact point on the map. He looks up at that mountain and just triple dinks them or quad dinks them somehow. So people really need to start learning to not bloom battle Vino because he is an absolute demon. But overall, the quote-unquote forecast fight did end 4-1, as in the 6th game, Peterbot and Poyo didn't even go for the forecast, so Clix and Vino got it pretty much uncontested, just like Peterbot and Poyo got it for their 4 times they claimed the forecast tower. So not much fighting between these two teams, but Peterbot and Poyo were shooting out Clix and Vino's launchpad every single game. So that's going to be something to monitor heading into LAN as well. Then in 4th place, we had another LAN team, Batman, Bugha, and Rapid. And this is a team that I'm expecting to do very well at LAN. And it's a 4th place in a tournament where they didn't really play their best, but they still played good. So I still have high hopes for them for LAN, and I'm expecting them to do very well at LAN, potentially even top 5. Then in 5th place, we had another LAN team, Dukes and Sphinx. And this is a team that is uncontested as of now at LAN, and I think could be one of the dark horses going into the LAN. This is probably one of NA's most underrated teams going into the LAN. I think this duo and Bryson Bolts are the most underrated duos from NA going to the LAN. So keep your eye out on Dukes and Sphinx. I think they'll do really good next weekend in Globals. Then in 6th place, we had another NA LAN team, Muzz and Epicwell, who had pretty much uncontested Doomstat all tournament long. A pretty solid tournament for them, but with pretty much being uncon at the Doomstat, I bet they wish they would have done a little bit better than 6th place. But nonetheless, a really good performance from them heading into the LAN. I think this entire top 6 played really well. It was a really well fought tournament for all of these teams. And I think it's a really good showing for all 6 of these teams heading into the LAN. But we did have some NA teams that did kind of struggle, or they didn't really meet the expectations of this Cash Cup, as we had Acorn and Cold uncontested at the Brutal Beachhead, and they got 19th. And to watch the EU Brutal Beachhead team and Alex and Sato get 2nd place on EU, then the NA Brutal Beachhead team, Acorn and Cold, kind of struggle. It kind of makes you wonder how that off-spawn fight's going to go at LAN. We're just going to have to see how that goes, but not the greatest performance out of Acorn and Cold. Then in 24th and 25th place, 2 other uncontested teams that kind of struggled on an A. We have Agers and Rise and Cheeps and Iamzo. And reminder, Cheeps is on 120 ping, so it is kind of hard dealing with that ping in a Cash Cup Finals. Cash Cup Finals don't really play the same as scrims at all. There's no rules, so anybody can do whatever they want, and they won't get banned for it like in scrims. So Cheeps and Iamzo with a pretty rough tournament. Then Agers and Rise, the Phil duo that will be playing LAN, of course, with a bit of a struggle in the Cash Cup. After looking pretty good in scrims, just like Cheeps and Iamzo. But remember, scrims don't really play the same, so we're just going to have to see how both of these teams are going to perform at LAN. With this tournament performance, I'm not really too sure what to think of these two teams, so we're just going to have to see what happens. But to give you guys a quick update on the LAN and the players that will not be attending, it's pretty much the same. Turtle will not be playing for personal reasons. Arrow will not be playing because of visa reasons. Milo visa reasons. Knight visa reasons. Pixel's account inactive/banned. And then Vanya is confirmed not going to be playing at the LAN due to visa issues. So sucks to see the Chapter 5 Season 2 FNCS winners on EU, Swizzy and Vanya, not playing. But the updated duos for LAN pretty much remain the same as well. Besides the Swizzy update, we have Cheeps and Iamzo playing because of Turtle missing. Gon and Kwani playing because of Knight missing. And if you guys missed the whole Kwani situation, that was wild. Kwani got told that he would no longer be playing with Gon, and that Gon will be playing with a Brazil player named Striker. But then Kwani put in some tickets complaining that Striker wasn't even a backup to begin with, and Epic actually reverted this situation, and then a whole Kwani vs Brazil war started on Twitter, and it's still going on to this day. But at the end of the day, Gon and Kwani are still duoing for LAN. Then we have Aegis and Rise playing because of Pixo and Milo. Then we have Swizzy 100% confirmed playing with Yapko, who we did end up playing the duo Cash Cup with, and they didn't do too well. They were contested and they ended up getting 24th. They were contesting a couple other teams like Mongrel and Mr. Savage at the Raft. And if you guys are wondering if Swizzy is going to be 50-50ing Peter, it doesn't look like he is. He doesn't really play the same as Peter at the Raft. So I do believe Peterbot will be getting Uncon Coin and Uncon Mythic AR uncontested at LAN. And then lastly, we have Wixie with who knows who he's going to be playing with. Apparently, from what I've been told, Wixie just hasn't really been responding to anyone. So I don't really know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's just going to LAN and just going to play with whoever Epic gives him, and he's just going to queue up and have some fun or what. But I don't know who Wixie's playing with still at this point. And if you guys do want to see the drop map, make sure to join my Discord, which I will have in the description. And I'll also have it pinned in the comment section as well. And I also have the Fortnite GG link if you just want to see the map on the Fortnite GG. But if you want to see it updating and you want to see all the maps 4-8 tournaments, or you just want to join the Discord and talk about competitive, you can join my Discord and that's all in there. But that's going to do it for me in this video, guys, talking about the duo Cash Cup on a U and an A, and also giving you a little bit of an update on the player situations for LAN, like Vanya not playing LAN anymore, and who his duo Swizzy is going to be playing LAN with. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications to never miss a recap just like this one, and to also not miss my FNCS Global Championship prediction video, which will come out either Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to be sometime early next week. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it as well so more people can see it. That's going to do it for me in this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.